Hello, I'm so happy I got a hold of you. Wow, this place is sure gone crazy. Well, for the month of April, I wanted to do a video series talking about my favorite games. Usually you do it a top 10, a top 20, but I'm going big. I'm going for a top 50. So this isn't the 50 greatest games of all time. This is more 50 of my favorite. And some of the reasons why these games are on this list has more to do with the time of life I played it or the stories around playing it. So let's get started with number 50, which is going to be The Simpsons Road Rage. Now, funnily enough, this is a game that me and my dad used to play all the time. And there's an arcade mode where you can go and run up a high score. And one of the reasons I love this game so much is that this was one of the few games on the GameCube that took advantage of the real-time clock. So if you play it on Christmas, you get a bonus Christmas character. If you play it on Halloween, you get a Halloween character and all that cool stuff. There's tons of unlockables. It's basically Crazy Taxi, but in the Simpsons universe. But I wasn't a big fan of Crazy Taxi, but I got obsessed with this one. Chiefly because my dad and I used to compete against each other. So we would go into the high score arcade modes, and then, you know, I get 30,000, he get 31. I get 35, he get 40. I get 41, he gets 43. So we kept going like this for weeks until he came back at, I want to say, 46,000, and then I just went on a run. I was using the nerd on the city level, I believe, and I got up to 144,000. And let's just say after Dad got home and saw that score, he's like, well, I guess we're done playing this. So, yeah, I don't know. It's always a fun memory because we had such a good time going back and forth. And then I literally, that 144 run, I ended it because I was just on such a tear. I played for it was probably 2 hours straight. And at that time, I was just like, you know, I'm tired. I want to do something else. So I just ended it. I could have kept going. So, yeah, Simpsons Road Rage is my number 50 favorite. Now, number 49. So when the N64 came out, there was a big drought of games. You had Mario 64 and Pilot Wings, but good luck if you had both of them at launch. I didn't find Pilot Wings for probably a year after the system launched. But the next game that came out was a doozy, and that's Waiver 64. And this game, when it came out, the water graphics were just so amazing. There was a nice, tight racing game. You know, Mario 64 wasn't out yet, so this kind of was the definitive racing game when it came out. Cruis'n USA came out shortly after, but still just the way the water moved, the music, the feel, stuff like Drake's Lake versus the one where the whale comes in. Like, this still a really nice game. I know the N64 hasn't aged well, and I have to admit, the few times I've tried to go back and play it, if I'm using my plasma TV or my component, it doesn't look good. So I need to get myself a big composite TV, or I need to figure something else out, because even using the RetroTink, I still can't stand it. But yeah, Waiver 64, number 49. So number 48. Now number 48 would be a lot higher on this list if not for another game that I played a few years back. And that is Harvest Moon 64. This was the first game that I took a risk on that paid off, because I mentioned it before, on the N64, that's when I really had a lot of money to buy games. I was buying my own games. My older brother was out of the house, so I took a shot on Castlevania 64, dud. I took a shot on Doom 64, didn't like it. I took a shot on Bomberman 64, and that was actually really good, but it wasn't until Harvest Moon 64 where that was a game that I was intrigued by, and I didn't even really know much about the Super Nintendo one, and I loved it. You know, I absolutely loved it. The farming sim-ness, it's not, I mean, you got daily chores, but it's kind of a good discipline teaching game. It teaches you every morning, I gotta get this, and done. And then once I get all that done, I can then go out and you know, talk to townsfolk, go forage, go try and woo the local townswomen, whatever. You know, and then it teaches goal settings too, because it's like, oh, I need to upgrade my house, get 500 wood pieces, get this, get that. I don't know. I played a lot of this game. I enjoyed it. I know the Harvest Moon series isn't for everybody, but I love that game, and it was a very, very nice addition to my N64, because I want to say that game came out late. It's probably one of the last games I really got obsessed with. So yeah, that's number 48. Now, number 47 was a whole trend. In college, I actually picked up a guitar, and I was learning acoustic guitar. And then my suite mate came in one day and said, hey, I'm playing Guitar Hero. Well, what the hell is that? Oh, bro. So I get in there. It's a plastic guitar. It's a video game. Let's just say I never touched the real guitar again. But I became an expert in Guitar Hero. Played Bark at the Moon, all that stuff. Well, this is kind of a grab bag of all of them. I'm putting Guitar Hero World Tour as my number 47. But it's really the series, because let's face it. Yes, it evolved somewhat. That's what's nice about this one. The bass lines really got up. They added drums. They added that. But really, it comes down to the guitar solos. And I loved this particular game. My older brother and I were obsessed with Guitar Hero. I remember when I was first dating my wife, we thought it was one way to impress her by playing songs on expert mode with a big projector, and she humored us by watching. Or she actually loved it, who knows. But yeah, Guitar Hero is one of those skill sets that I have that it's given me a chance in life where one time I was at a Best Buy when Guitar Hero 2 had a kiosk, and I was playing, I can't remember the song, but I was just playing it after this other guy who tried it on medium. I put it on expert and I just start cranking it out, just nailing it, and I get a crowd of people around me like, oh my god, this guy's badass! So that right there, I got a lot of good memories with the series. I never played Guitar Hero Live. Guitar Hero 5 is kind of what killed the series for me, and it just, you know, it ran its course. So yeah, Guitar Hero number 47. Number 46. Now, this series is the one that got me through my hatred of handhelds. Now, it was only temporary, and even the condition the game's in will show you that I still didn't care that much about handhelds, because this is one of the few boxes I don't have from a game as a kid that was my game. Wasn't my brother's, wasn't it? This was my game. And that is Pokemon Red and Blue. I had Pokemon Blue. I love Charizard, but I love Blue. So I had to get the blue one. And I don't know how I did it. I played this game on my Game Boy. I had the stupid Game Boy Light. I played it at night. I remember playing it hours on end, and I had an absolute blast. I picked up the Pokemon Stadium game so I could plug it into my Super Nintendo and play it on the big screen. But at that point, I was kind of over it. I got Mew. I got all the fantastic legendary guys. Traded all the ones with the red. Even got Missing No. So just a great game. Unfortunately, I never really... I mean, I even liked the cartoon. But after I played Red and Blue, I never had a desire to go in and play the other ones, because I just... I love Charizard. I love that. And then they replaced it with new starting Pokemon. They had these new ones. Like, I just wasn't into it. But still a great game. I'd love to get more into the series one of these days. It's just kind of overwhelming now. There's 10 different iterations of it and so many new Pokemon. But Pokemon Red and Blue, great game. Number 46 on this list. Number 45 on this list, I mean, Super Mario World. I don't know how to say anything. Super Mario World is a classic. This game's amazing. What a good recent memory I've had with it was when I went to my buddy Donovan's wedding. Me and my good buddy Nefarious Wes, we were about drunk around, I don't know, 2 a.m. and just decided, hey, let's go and beat Mario World. And we got decent. We got all the way through World 3 before I was like, you know what, we got a wedding to go to tomorrow. We should probably not do this all night. But just a great game. Really kind of took that next step up from Mario 3. You had the cape. You have all the cool Yoshis and all that. I mean, it's a little bit of a downgrade in terms of the costumes, but you get Yoshi to balance it out. And there's all the secrets. You got the Star World. It's a phenomenal game. Mario World, I know some people say it should be higher on this list, but it's also one of those ones where I almost feel like it's a gimme. Like, yeah, I have to put on it because I like it so much. It's such a great game, but I don't know. Anyways, number 45, Mario World. And here's why people will be mad. Number 44 is the biggest meme on my channel. It was a game I loved as a kid. I love RC Pro-Am. I love rare games. And I love me some Cobra Triangle. Woo! I mean, enough said. I've been playing this game for like 23 years. I finally managed to beat it on stream. And since then, I've been able to beat it consistently. What a terrific game. So much replay value. Such a good... Like, once you realize you can get upgrades, it becomes a lot easier. But I know it's not for everybody. But for me, it's my number 44. Cobra Triangle. That's not a dragon. It's a Leviathan. So yeah, check it out. It's a cheap game. Pick it up. I talk about it all the time. Number 43 is I believe it's the newest game on this list. This one was one I was dead wrong on. There's not often I'm dead wrong on games coming out, but I thought this was going to be more of the same. I'm not a big fan of the Souls series, but boy, did Sekiro kick my ass and also make me love the damn thing. I played this off and on for 2 months, which I don't ever do that with a game. I say binge playing game finisher. I get in front of a game and I play through it for 8, 10, 12, 15 hours, 40 hours, whatever, in a course of a week, 3 days, 5, however to get it done. This one, though, it wears you out. You know, I'd get through and I'd beat a long boss fight and be like, oh god, I have to get stopped. Or at least in the beginning. Once I got my feet under me, that's when I started to put on a tear and cut through the rest of the game. But just amazing combat, amazing, I mean, the story's whatever, but the combat is just what it's there. It's so just invigorating. Just block, 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 attack, attack, attack. And me taking out the final boss after trying on him for, I want to say 3-4 hours and just not one-shotting him, not perfecting him, but just the way that I beat the last boss, taking all that practice and just executing flawlessly. That's what I love about this game, is it gives you that great feeling of, man, I saw that mountain and I climbed that mountain. And so yeah, Sekiro really, really well deserved on this list. And I believe that was 43. 42. This was a game that when it came out, it was making me the hot shot around my house. I finally had something that was mine, not my older brother's, not my dad's, my controller, my system, my game. Look at what I got, and that is Mario 64. Another one, people will be like, why is it that low on the list? It's another one that's almost like a gimme. Like, yeah, I love Mario 64 so much. It's such the everyone loves the game, but it's this amazing game. I mean, how could you not? Going through, getting all the coins in every world to get the 100 coin star, getting the 152 coins in the Boo world, taking a picture, sending it to Nintendo Power for whatever contest they had, just getting through the annoying Rainbow World, jumping into paintings, trying to make up stories on the lands, jumping off, finding the secret teleports. So much good stuff in this game, to the point where it was like, why did Nintendo not make a true sequel to this until Mario Odyssey? For real, what were they thinking? And I'm glad they did, because Mario Odyssey is another great game, but really, you gotta go with the big boy that started it. Mario 64 defined a genre that we still have to this day. I mean, the Banjo-Kazooies, Donkey Kong 64, all the Super Lucky Sale, all those things, collectathons based on Mario 64. Still, none of them have done it as well, in my opinion. And that brings us to the last one of this list. I'm gonna break it down in tens, so we're gonna end with 41. And 41, I don't have anything for, because 41 is a PC game. Woo! I know. I have a Game Boy game and a PC game on this list. What's wrong with me? Well, number 41 is The Sims. The Sims is a game that I wanted to play so much that it forced me to play on a PC. It was the first one ever to do that. And I had my janky-ass Macintosh that my parents bought that was just a horrible, horrible potato computer. I managed to get a copy to run on it, and it would play, it would crash randomly throughout the game, so I had to learn to save often throughout the game, which also is kind of carried on to when I edit, because I always save when I'm editing, because editing programs can crash too. And imagine that's what it's like playing The Sims for me. I was in middle school at the time, and I remember we had of course I do acting, and so I was in a drama class, and we had a thing where we did a weekly improv with a family, so it was called the Mamacita family. So I made the Mamacitas in The Sims. And what was always so funny about The Sims, and I'm talking about the first one, I got some of the expansions, I got like 5 or 6 of the expansions, but really the first one was where I really fell in love with the game and played a lot of it. And just, the funny thing about it is, I always found the beginning of The Sims to be the fun part. The part where you're in the, like the 1-bedroom apartment where you have 4 people sleeping in the bedroom, and then you have the little section for the workout machine, and you have the fridge and all that, and it's super close, but it's also close enough where you can direct your Sims to do what they need to in a timely manner. Once you got enough friends, once you got enough promotions, once you moved on to the bigger house, it always lost a little bit of its appeal. I don't know if it's the struggle of life, just being like, oh, well, now I've accomplished what I can, now what am I going to do, just sit here and watch them walk through this empty mansion? It's boring. So then at that point, you either just start killing them by taking the pool thing off so they swim to their death, or you're setting stuff on fire, or what. I mean, part of the fun is always, you get the Sims and you can watch them kill themselves, and then, get rid of it so you didn't save your progress then. But yeah, fun game. And let's not forget that when the characters would undress, they had the little blur in front of them. Well, there was a nude patch that I bought off eBay back in the day, so you get to see all that pixelated glory. Yeah. Don't lie, you did it too. So, yeah, there you go. That is the 50 to 41 of my favorite games of all time. Let me know what you thought of this list. Let me know if you agree with some of these choices, you think they're a little too low. And I will see you next week with the next 10. It's been so nice getting a hold of you. Take care.